Hi beauties, welcome back to my channel. It's Nnalue Ifeoma, and thank you so much for being a part of my journey. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. Hit the subscribe button so you can join us. If you're my subscribers, thank you so much for being a part of my journey. I appreciate. In today's video, we are going to be talking about 5 things that does not make you a failure. You know, it is very easy for people to go into negative and dwelling on negative energies than, climbing up to the positive energies. So I'm here to tell you that you're not alone in whatever it is you're going through. You're not alone. And there are some things you're going through now that you think it makes you a failure, which practically does not make you a failure, because everyone has a stage in life. Everyone has a level in life. So I hope that at the end of this video, you come to find out that if you fall or if you fail in any of these categories, you are not a failure yet. That doesn't make you a failure is not being married at 30. Most women, like most of the career women I know today, who have found their femininity, who have balanced their femininity and their relationship, and some of these people are above their 30s and they're not married. Some got married earlier. So that you are 28 right now as we speak and you're not married does not make you a failure. That you're 30 and you're not married does not make you a failure. So when you're 30, ask yourself, I am 30, I'm not married. What else have I achieved? What have I been achieving with my life? Do I have a running business? Do I even know my worth as a woman? Because if you come to really a balance, if you come to balance in your femininity, it is going to help you know that at 30 and not be married isn't failure. I know that sometimes when you go to occasions or parties or events, you'll be like, oh my dear, where's your husband? Oh, you're not married. Oh, you're not married. And all of those things. Or when you see us prepare you with couple goals pictures on social media, you feel like, oh my god, I'm being left alone in this whole wide world. Darling, you're not left alone, okay? You're not alone. And not being married at 30 does not make you a failure. Marriage on its own might be an achievement to a lot of persons, but not being married on its own, on that term, does not make you a failure. Number 2, feeling like you're behind. You're feeling like, okay, I've not really achieved anything. I'm left behind. My femininity is not growing. My business is not growing. I don't even know what I'm doing with my life. I've not graduated. I didn't go to school. Feeling like, oh, look at all my classmates. They are doing well in their various fields. I'm just here alone. No matter how much I tried, I'm just being left behind. Darling, everyone has their own clock. Yes. You can't compare yourself to me. I can't compare myself to others. We all have our own achievements and success clock. As long as you keep working hard, as long as you keep, putting in the work, being consistent in what you do. My motto is consistency yields effective results. As long as you keep being consistent in what you do, even if you feel it is just obvious to you that a lot of persons have left you behind, they are running at their own pace. You are running at your own pace. My own issue is, don't just be idle. Don't just be there folding your arms and not doing nothing. I'm thinking that when people leave you behind, you feel bad. At that point, I'll be like, okay, you are probably the lure has not completed. But when you're putting in the work, you're doing your own part of the deal, you're working hard, you're studying, you're investing in yourself, you're trying out new opportunities, and it feels as though you're not catching up to the pace of every other person, and you think that everything people post on the social media are the way their lives really are, then you're mistaken. Then you're thinking yourself as a failure from the wrong perspective. You're not even qualified to feel or to be a failure if you have not tried something for 7 years of consistency. If you try something for 7 years of consistency and at the end of it all it doesn't work, then you can say, okay, I'm a failure in this part. Ever since my mentor told me this, that when I was feeling down, that my channel was not growing, my business was not really growing, he asked me, how long have you been doing this? Is it up to 5 years? Is it up to 7 years? It's not. So he told me that you don't have any right to call yourself a failure when you've not tried doing these things for 7 long years. He gave me scriptural references, and it really made me to take myself away from that aspect, put that thought. And moreover, failure on its own is a recipe for success. Number 3, taking longer to reach your goals. Like I said, everyone has their clock. Everyone runs at their pace. So even if you take longer to reach your goals, as long as you're reaching your goals, you're on the move, you're putting conscious effort, deliberate actions to reaching your goals. When you feel tired, rest.
do you do on those days that you don't feel that confident or fearless or powerful like you did out there?
Cook, eat, wash my hair, exercise. Then I take time to take good care of my body to glow. Then I study the scriptures to find comfort. I call my family, and sometimes I cry. Na person way head they correct to 9 day they fearless. Sometimes just unwind, please. When you've burned yourself out, when you worked hard and you feel a time comes and you don't really feel motivated, just unwind. You can leave everything you're doing and just unwind. Just take a weekend out. Just forget everything about work, business. Just unwind and come back to yourself. Go and walk around, take yourself out, call your family, call people. Just do things that will make you not feel any pressure of work, so that when you finally come back, taking out that 1 week out to refresh and to unwind, when you come back, you're coming back with double force. So not reaching your goal on time does not make you a failure. Number 4, ending a toxic relationship, darling. I know when people get into toxic relationship, in one of my videos I talked about trauma. One of the things that make people remain in toxic relationship is when they have that low self-esteem and they feel like, if I leave this person, I'm not going to be loved by another person, I'm not going to get successful in life. No, darling, that's not truth. Leaving a toxic relationship does not make you a failure. And even if it's not a toxic relationship, ending a relationship that does not profit you, that drains you, doesn't benefit you, does not make you a failure. I'm talking about relationship that hasn't led to marriage. This is one of the reasons why you need to take all the time you need to grow yourself, groom yourself as a woman. Behold, have your non-negotiable standards, because you must have grown yourself to the point of having non-negotiables before you talk about entering a relationship or even getting married, so that at the end of it all, you won't start nursing the thought of separation or divorce or all of those things. There are some situations that are avoidable if you had done your work. But if you don't do your work and you just jump into it, you're going to jump out of it. I'm not here to endorse you to stay in a marriage where you're being abused all the time. You're being mentally drained, physically abused. When this kind of things start happening, it is safe to leave that home. It is safe to separate, not divorce. Separate and try to resolve your issues from afar. Separate and try to see if both of you have character issues to work on separately, which later you can come back together. Or you just have a boyfriend and he's beating you. He is not even beating you physically, like mentally torturing you, always making you feel so low, makes you feel as if you achieved nothing. No matter how hard you try to please him, you can never please him. And when you have little success, he's never happy for you for your success. He doesn't support what you do. You're gonna die on time, and I'm sorry, I wouldn't want you to do that. So please, when you're in a toxic relationship, I notice this person is not supporting you, is not helping you improve, and you're not even helping the person improve on your own part, there's no point of remaining in that relationship. So ending a relationship or ending a toxic relationship, not even the lovely, ending a toxic business relationship, yes, church relationship, leaving your church where it is dead and you're not growing spiritually, nothing is making you really come closer to God in that house of faith. Leaving those places does not make you a failure. For real, it doesn't make you a failure. You only took the bold step. Number 5, quitting your job and trying new approach does not make you a failure. It is always very hard to quit a job, because before you quit your job, you start thinking, how am I going to start get money? How will I sustain? How will I feed for the next number of months? What if I don't get a new job at the nearest time? How am I going to cope? People are going to say, okay, she quit her job, she's no longer working, and people are going to see me as a liability. All of these thoughts and so many insecurities and fears of, what if I need money urgently? How am I going to even get money since I no longer have a job? All these things are things you have to think and still take a decision. Make a decision. If your job is no longer serving you, or you're no longer serving your job, there's no point wasting time remaining in that place. Quitting that job and furthering your career, quitting that job and trying new approach, quitting that job and starting a business, as long as you've weighed your consequence, you just have to make that decision. But quitting your job on its own does not make you a failure, especially on the terms when it's no longer serving you. There was a time I worked in a place and I really didn't want to quit, but the environment was so toxic. I lost my joy. I didn't have any desire to wake up and just leave my house to work. It was it was that bad. I spoke to my husband. I was like, babe, see, look at what I'm going through. And he was like, okay, he tried to make me understand that life is not easy, life is hard. I can try to, overlook, I can try to, make it, because he wasn't there with me. He didn't understand exactly what I was going through, how toxic the place was. And I lost, no matter the amount I was making, the money was useless as long as my joy was no longer there. I was no longer being myself. I was always unhappy. I got to a point I was like, okay, see, I'm done. I started weighing in, if I create this job, how am I going to start making money now? Okay, my other businesses at that moment were not thriving, we're not doing well. So how am I going to survive? How am I going to do this? I have my husband, but I can't really be asking him for money all the time. I really can't really ask him for, though he doesn't have issues giving them to me, but from my own parts, I was like thinking, I thought of it. I was like, if I quit this job, I'm going to look like a failure. I don't have anything else to do. At that point, I was going to give me that kind of amount of money I was making. At the end of it all, I had to take a decision. I weighed my happiness, my joy, where I was going, and I weighed the job. How do they weigh, like, the weight of my joy, the weight of other things I needed to use, my time to do that will be productive, and the weight of the job that the only source of happiness in that job was just money. Which one was greater? I tried to endure, I couldn't endure, I just had to quit. I quit the job, and for a number of months I stayed without getting another job. It was hard, it wasn't funny. I had to face the consequences of quitting my job, and at the end of it all, I am fine. To be very honest with you, it may not be very funny at that time, but later you come to find out that you have your joy back. When you have your joy, you can think straight. When you have your peace of mind, you can reason, you can have inspiration on how to further yourself. That's why you can even dig out new things about you. So after that deliberation, I spoke with my husband about it. I see, babe, if after giving him all the excuses, all the reasons I gave to him, he weighed it and was like, see, babe, just leave that job. It's not worth it. So that's just that, essentially. These things, I know there are so many other things that does not make you a failure. Let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. I always love reading from you. And if you're a woman here, you're into a toxic relationship, or you're at that junction of your life when you feel you're being left behind and you really want to talk to somebody, if you check the description box below, you'll see a link to book a call with me. You really need to pour your heart out. Don't bottle things up, please. Don't hide things. Pour them out, and not just to every listening ear. Pour them out, and not only will you gain relief, you're also going to go on a journey that will help you to finding balance, help you to address and overcome your pain, and finding balance in your femininity and relationship. This are also going to help you know what kind of things to invest your time and money in. Thank you so much for joining my video today. Thank you so much for being a part of my journey. This brings us to the end of today's video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share. Let me know your thoughts again in the comment section below, and I'm going to see you in my next video. Stella.